Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back. This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, on point reviews all day, every day. Welcome back yet again, everybody. If you are one of my old subscribers, it's great to see you guys yet again. And if you are new to the channel, this is the first time you've seen my videos. Guys, we've got 400 plus videos for you guys to peruse. I'm sure a lot of those videos are stuff you guys want to hear about, so make sure to check out the playlists in this channel. So today we are going to talk about a Kajal fragrance that I should have done pretty much a few months ago. This is a pretty recent release, guys, okay? But again, the sample got lost somewhere here and I ended up doing Kajal Homme 2 first, okay? So make sure to check Kajal Homme 2. That was my latest Kajal review. It's a very new release. But the one we are going to talk about today is a release from last year before Kajal Homme 2, and this is none other than Kajal Lamar. Yes, that's right. Kajal Lamar. Now, Lamar, where'd they get that name? Now, as a resident of Los Angeles, the first thing I thought of was Lamar Odom, the basketball player, okay? But actually, Lamar, the name was taken from a French word, lumière. And, you know, and I know for a lot of y'all Disney fans, when you guys hear lumière, you're probably thinking, you know, that candlestick guy, right? Yeah, lumière, that's right. Yes, it's from lumière, guys, which basically means rays of light. And that's basically the inspiration for Lamar. Now, I know you guys have questions. I'm sure you've peeped other reviews on this fragrance. One of which is this unisex? That's probably the number one thing, because a lot of people are saying that this is leaning femme, okay? So that's the first thing I'm sure you guys are curious about. And I'm sure you guys are also wondering about the chief notes of this fragrance, that being the pineapple as well as the rose, okay? So again, I will be breaking down this fragrance step by step, top to bottom, so you guys can fully understand what this is about. Before that, let's go spray this fragrance right now. Woo, yeah. Nice. Okay, so the chief note here in Kajal Lamar is pineapple, okay? Pineapple, guys, okay? But it's not the same pineapple, not the same kind as the ones you see or you smell in, you know, your Aventus or Aventus type perfumes. The type of pineapple here, guys, is definitely your freshly cut pineapple, juicy, straight out of the tree. You know, they took it down, chopped it up for you, and you got the juices coming out, and then, you know, you've got the zestiness, you can smell it. That's basically what you're gonna get. A fresh and juicy pineapple right here. Now, on the literature, they do talk about the Mediterranean, okay? The Mediterranean is part of the inspiration of Lamar, and while this one doesn't have, you know, aquatic notes that denote the Mediterranean, I can definitely imagine myself being in Greece, for example, vacationing, sipping on some fresh pineapple juice while I'm checking out the Mediterranean, while I'm checking out the Aegean Sea from the beach, right? So, I mean, this is definitely fresh. It's definitely a nice start. If you guys like fresh starts on your fragrances, guys, Lamar does it with this pineapple. And by the way, this pineapple is not blended. It comes out on its own for probably more than 10, 11, 12 minutes on its own, guys. Just zesty, fruity, juicy pineapple. Now, the interesting thing right here, as I've told you guys, the other chief note of this fragrance is rose, right? So how does the pineapple end up going into rose? Okay, so what I like about this one right here is that this one has a nice gradient, okay? This fragrance has a nice transition from pineapple to rose. And let me tell you guys the order. So from the pineapple that goes on its own, eventually some green apple does come in, guys, okay? So that's sort of like the transitional note from the pineapple. If you guys are familiar with your Aventus, like I said, then you're gonna detect that, you know, that apple that comes in right here, that nice green apple, it does transition. Now, the other fruity note here that's really not mentioned a lot, or there's not a lot of credit on this, but it is on a lot of these Middle Eastern inspired scents, is your red berries, okay? Red berries is on one of my favorite fragrances, Asil, okay? So the red berries is actually a key component of this fragrance heading into the rose. So from the fresh pineapple that goes on its own, a green apple note mixes with it, and then eventually you've got your red berries. And the red berries here will last up until the rosy part. Now, there are some notes that play nicely in the background here. they play a gradient here in this fragrance, guys, okay? And basically, you've got your cardamom and your coriander. These two are not as pronounced as the fruity notes, but if you really try to smell it, guys, you'll see that these two notes are a nice transitional bridge into the rose. Now let's talk about the other chief note in this fragrance, and that is rose. So this fragrance has Turkish rose, all right? Turkish rose is right here. And again, this transitions nicely from your red berries. Not the pineapple, but the red berries with the coriander and cardamom starts shifting into that rose, okay? And it's a prominent rose, but I think this one is natural smelling, okay? I did try a rose-based fragrance from another house the other day, and it just smelled so synthetic, and I mean, it didn't smell natural to me. But in this case, guys, with Lamar, you are going to get a natural smelling, nicely transitioned in rose that I think is really, really lovely. And again, on the literature, they do talk about, you know, smelling the roses as well as your jasmine. Being in a jasmine field, guys, okay? So the other note that comes in here, the other floral note, is your jasmine sambac. And, you know, rose and jasmine together just provide a real nice, you know, floral, rosy transition here from the pineapple. There's also some magnolia here. So one of the interesting things you're going to get here on the mid is that it's actually not a sensual, darker, sort of like cozy rose. That's really not what you're getting here. So that's the interesting thing. With most rosy fragrances, usually they'll add something like saffron or another spice note, or maybe even amber to sort of like darken the rose. But in this case, guys, this is a rose that mixes well with the fruitiness, okay? This one mixes well with the red berries and also those other nice uplifting floral notes, your jasmine and your magnolia. So actually, this one is not your sensual fade to black type rose. This is a fruity rose that is very enjoyable and very casual right here, guys, okay? And I'll talk about the usage later. And then eventually you've got the dry down notes, guys, okay? And the dry down notes, which is, I mean, hours later, this is where it becomes, you know, that cozy fade to black scenario, that Netflix and chill scenario, or back in my place scenario. Because right here, okay, so there's vanilla and amber. So those two notes are sweet notes, but they are not the chief notes here in the dry down. The dry down notes that do stand out, though, are your cashmere wood, your musk, and your oak moss. So cashmere wood here, obviously this is an accord, and it makes everything cozier, and it matches perfectly with the musk and oak moss. There's a lot of oak moss here, guys. So you're gonna get like a mossy rose, actually, you know, which is really, really nice. I like the dry down of this fragrance. There's still that sweetness. However, it gets cozier, muskier with oak moss. So this is that cozy part of Lamar. Not the mid, because the mid is really more connected to the fruity side rather than, you know, your cozy, rosy side. Now here's the big question, guys. Is this really a fragrance for women, okay? I would say that this here is unisex, but if a woman wore this one, if a woman wore Lamar, I think that there wouldn't be any blurred lines, okay? This one would be a real fun grabber, I think, for women right here. I think that if you're a girl and you're wearing Lamar, I mean, you are going to get the freshness of that pineapple in the beginning. And then the rose is a fun, very femme, you know, feel right here. Again, not your dark type of rose, guys. But later on, should the date progress as you want it to, and you want it to be more sensual and, you know, cozy in the end, then definitely the mid to dry down notes of Lamar will definitely work out for you. But for me, I definitely see it as a casual grabber, a fun grabber, fruity, rosy, you know, and again, not synthetic. It really feels very natural. The pineapple is probably one of the most realistic pineapple notes I've ever smelled. Okay, so I think for the girls, if you do wear this, I mean, there's no blurred lines, you're gonna enjoy it. Okay, for the guys, this is wearable too. This is for those that love fruity fragrances and are okay with wearing fruity fragrances. And just remember, guys, that there are notes here that pull this back into, you know, unisex territory. Not too femme or not too fruity. Just remember that you do have your cardamom, your coriander, your musk, and cashmere wood. I mean, those notes definitely pull it back to unisex territory. So if you like fruity scents, definitely this will work for you. And again, don't forget the red berries aspect right there. The red berries right here, which stands out again. I mean, I've smelled it in many of my Middle Eastern type fragrances right there, and it smells very unisex. So, I mean, with the red berries and the other notes that pull it back, I think you'll be fine with Lamar. Now, performance-wise, Lamar is quite great, just like the other Kajal fragrances. Performance, sillage, they're all good. Longevity for me, I mean, easily like 7 hours plus on Kajal Lamar. So I haven't really seen a Kajal that is, you know, kind of weak, you know what I'm saying? But right now, I think for me, I really feel a nice scent bubble around me while I'm wearing Lamar right now. And I think I would recommend this for spring and summer. So a lot of my previously done videos, I've talked about transitional weather from winter to spring, but this one right here, I think it's a spring headed to summer. And also if you live in, you know, warmer weather, this is great. You know, this is really great because you're going to get that freshness in the beginning as well. And again, the rose does not necessarily mean it's a dark fall winter type rose. Okay, so this might be one of the few rose fragrances that you can enjoy during the summer. Okay, so that's really nice. And definitely AC environments, if you guys and gals are going on a date, definitely this will be a win. If you are wearing this, I think that you're gonna get your compliments. I think that it's gonna hit them. It's not gonna go unnoticed. They're definitely gonna talk about it and compliment you about it. And of course, this one is an all-day affair. So this one goes from fresh to rosy to later on cozy. So this is something you can wear for an all-day affair or all-night affair. You know, whichever you choose, guys. So I like it. It's a pretty versatile perfume that I think is fun. There's a lot of character to it. And just like Lumiere, this one will give you some light. You know, this one will brighten up the days of anybody you come across with this type of perfume. Now, should you blind buy this, I think you should try this, okay? So definitely try this out first. Get a vial like I did, because this one right here is, I mean, you gotta try it and see if you feel like this is for you. If fruity type fragrances with rose are something that, you know, you're attuned to, or if you're a guy, see if, you know, you like it, if it matches your personality, right? So definitely try it out first. I wouldn't say jump on the computer and buy it right now. So try it out first, guys, if you like it. Now, let me know in the comments below if you have worn Lamar or if you own Lamar. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm very curious. If you're a guy or a gal, let me know about your feedback. I really love the feedback, guys, because I mean, a lot of y'all really talk to me, agree with me, and I agree with y'all too, you know, with what you guys are saying about your fragrances. Okay, so let me know in the comments what you think of Kajal Lamar. Now make sure to check out my other Kajal videos. I did Homme 2 recently. I'll link that at the end of the video, as well as Kajal Dahab. Okay, so that one's a nice one too. I'll link that as well. And again, make sure to hit like and subscribe, guys. Thank you everybody for your support. We are growing like wildfire. Thank you to everybody for you liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, telling all your friends about the channel. Thank you so much for doing so, guys. And for the members of my Frag Cartel, thank you as well. You know, we're gonna make some more videos, okay? So until then, this is Troy D. God bless. Have a safe day. Peace out.